G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt. So I had a comment on one of my last videos about doing a like and dislike about my GTS. So here's that video. I'll start with the dislikes first and then I'll do the likes. So come with me. Start on the interior of the GTS. Right, I'll sit down like we're driving normally. So I'll put the camera at eye level. You can see the A pillar gets in the way here, right there. Very painful, especially when you're trying to look like that. I mean, obviously you can turn your head like that and see, but that does get in the way quite often. So dislike 2 is the accessories on the VF Commodore range. It actually turns off after 10 minutes. So if you're listening to a song that you like, or listening to something on the radio, or waiting for the shops to open, it can cut out halfway through, which can be a bit of a pain. That's another dislike that I don't like about the GTS. Now let's have a look around. The sunglasses holder I should say, up here. I don't actually wear sunglasses, so I have heard stories about people having like auxiliary ports and things in here. Mine doesn't actually have that. It'll be actually good to actually have that up there, so I could plug my dash cam in, which normally sits about here. The lead would have to, normally goes across there and down the windscreen, which is very messy and can be quite painful and falls off all the time. That is another dislike for my GTS. Number 4 is the big one, is the cup holders next to the gearbox. I've got a manual, so it's actually quite difficult when you've got a large cup here. And I'll grab my phone out. Where is that? It's in my pocket. And I'm not driving, as you can see, so I can touch my phone. I'll sit that there. That's an iPhone 8 Plus, and that's quite light, quite tall, and yeah, it gets in the way when you're trying to change gear here. See, that's painful. I mean, people who drive automatics don't have that issue normally, but that's another dislike that I don't like. Now, I'll start the car. Just turn the volume down a little bit. So normally have the radio quite loud. The indicators can be quite loud, so I'll turn it on. So I've got nothing else on in the car, and you can hear the indicators there. Very loud. They could they should have reduced the volume on that. There may be a way to do it in the center console there. Might be able to reduce it, but I haven't actually worked that out yet. If someone knows how to do that, put it in the comments below. And with the heads-up display, the lane departure warning pops up, and it's red and it flashes in your eyes, and it's quite startling at times. You can see the heads-up display there. You can turn that off. I just haven't got around to doing that, but that's another dislike I don't like. Yeah, so that's a few dislikes for the interior of the car. Okay, another dislike is the heated seat controls here. I don't use heated seats because I'm more of a cool person than a hot person. Take that any way you want it. They should be, you know, aircon seats. They should have a selection to have the seats cooled or warmed. So that's something I don't like there. I could have thought of that a little bit better. Another dislike in the interior is the HSV logo on the left here. You can see it's the same color as the dash here. They should have made it a different color, like a yellow or an orange or a red. I think you can get that changed, but as stock they come like that. They could have thought of something better, in my opinion, really. Another dislike on the interior is that I love the spoiler on the outside. The GTS spoiler finishes it off, but as you can see in the rear vision mirror, it actually gets in the way a little bit, especially headlights. Depending on how low your car or how high it is, they can actually get in the way. That's actually a dislike there for me for the viewing, but the actual spoiler itself on the outside is actually quite nice. I love it. It finishes the back end off of the HSV range for the GTS. Alright, the likes in the interior of my GTS. I'll sit down. Let's have a look. Number 1, the bucket seats. Very supportive and very comfortable, as you can see by the passenger seat here. Especially at the sides here, supporting your waist and torso. Very comfortable seats. They are electric seats. Being a GTS, you can move them forward, obviously. Don't have to use the metal thing under here like the old timers. That is a very top like for me for my GTS for the interior. Okay, another like for the interior for me is in my old SS, this part here actually used to be that part, that color there, silver, quite blinding. And as I said before, I don't wear sunglasses, so it could quite blind me quite often when driving. So this is another like for me. This whole area is quite good. Very, very nice. That's another like for me there. Now another like also is the driver mode here. You can select, let me just turn the car on. Give it a minute to start. So I'm currently in sport mode at the moment. Still waiting. There we go. So I press the home button here, EDI, and I'll step you through. I'll turn it to performance mode. It's on performance mode at the moment. It's on track mode at the moment, so you can see all the driver modes that come up. So I'll go back to performance mode. Normally leave it on sport mode. The touring mode, I don't know why they have that in there. I mean, you've got a HSV GTS with stock 430 flywheel kilowatts. Why would you have it on touring mode? That's a bit stupid. And that's as far as it goes. So touring, sport, performance and track. So I normally leave it on sport, as I just said. Alright, a like for me is the overall interior itself. I mean, this car was made in 2013 and designed, you know, in 2011/2012. It still today looks like it was made and designed yesterday in 2020. Unlike another certain brand that looks like it has an interior from 1974. This is black, got a lot of black mixed in with chrome, and the carbon fiber look looks perfect. Like something it was made yesterday, and it was actually made in 2013, so that's a big like for me of the interior. Alright, here it is, under the bonnet. It's heart and soul, LSA supercharged, 430 flywheel kilowatts. Big like for me. Second like for me is the cover for the blower. Here it is, red. You can get yellow. They come stock as yellow or red. I mean, people sell them online now as different colors. You can get them resprayed, etc., but that's the way they come out of the factory. A big dislike for me is the stock air filter that came with these, a big boxy bulky thing. Here's a photo of a stock one. They should have made it something like this. I've changed mine. I've done a video of that. This is the Harrop 530 pod. Yeah, they could have made it a little bit better. This whines more as stock. That air box doesn't whine very much. I mean, you need to hear these things whine. It's much better than a turbo whistle when it's whining loud. Yeah, they could have designed that a little bit better, but again, that's the way it is. Big dislike for me is the throttle body comes out on an angle as well. If it was straight, you could put an OTR here, but again, that's just the way it's designed and the way it is. I think there is now a design for a move the throttle body to the left more, and or an OTR that still comes out on the side like this and fits there, but that's stock. That's how it comes out. Number one like of the whole car on my GTS is the rear end of it. I mean, come on, look at it. What a sexy ass this is, especially the spoiler finishes it off. GTS's, a few of them don't have the proper GTS spoiler at the rear. I don't think it finishes it off properly. With the proper spoiler at the back, it makes it more aggressive and more likable, in my opinion. Best ever HSV range rear end, in my opinion. But of course I'm biased because I have one. But that's the top like, in my opinion, on the whole car, is the rear end of it. Alright, dislike on the outside of the GTS was the side skirts. In the Series 2, it looked a little bit more aggressive. Here's a picture of the Series 2. Much rather the Series 1 had that aggressive, more looking side skirt that the Series 2 has, but I guess that is what it is. That's a dislike on the outside of the GTS. Also the stock exhaust on the HSV range, the Buyer model, with that stupid vacuum hissing sound. They should have made it a bit more aggressive as a stock exhaust. That's another dislike for the outside and the car in general. Alright guys, that was a few likes and dislikes of my GTS. I'm not going to go into full depth of what I like about the car, because I bought it because I like it. So I like the car in general overall. So I've always been a Holden man, Holden fan, pretty much up to the last VF Commodore that rolled off the line in 2017. So yeah, that's just a quick little video on what I like and dislike. Where am I going with this car? I'll be putting a cam in it mid-year, probably towards the end of the year. Hopefully this time when it gets tuned, it's not the hottest day on earth, which it was when I got my last tune. It was like 45 degrees. Get a bit more horsepower out of it when it's a bit cooler. It needs new brakes and new tyres first, so I'll get that done first and go from there. So yeah, also an update on my channel. If I get to 100 subscribers by the end of May, sort of mid-June, I may do a live stream, my first live stream, so see how that goes. So from that point, yeah, I'll leave it at that, and I hope you liked the video and give it a thumbs up, and thanks for subscribing.